It's crunch time in the Ninja A-League. All or nothing high stakes football as Melbourne City welcome Melbourne Victory to their home patch for the second leg of this semi-final. Hello and welcome to a fresh afternoon at Control Cyber Pitch in Casey Fields, where City bring with them a one-goal lead into this two-legged semi-final. For City this afternoon, that means a draw will do. Scoreless or otherwise, they would hold the lead and steer themselves to a sixth grand final appearance. As for Victory, well, they need to win by 2 goals to settle this in regulation time. Anything less will either send the game into extra time and penalties or hand their cross-city rivals the all-important aggregate win. It was a cagey affair in the first leg of this semi-final. A Letitia McKenna free kick, the only goal separating the result. Perhaps win probability, taking that into account as well. Victory aware of exactly what they need to do this afternoon. And frankly, the stakes could not be higher. There's a spot in the Ninja A-League Grand Final for Season 18 on the line. All to play for. Victory chasing the 1-goal deficit. An almighty hill to climb this afternoon at City's home ground. Well, let's have a look at how the teams are lining up today. No changes to the starting 11 for Michael Matriciani's side. Consistency key in this team's success. The bench also entirely unchanged. Still no Daniela Buttress cited despite being cleared from concussion she picked up with the young Matildas. As for Jeff Hopkins, he alluded to a shift in the way they could get forward this afternoon, and that's explained through 2 changes we see to the starting 11. Leading goal scorer Kennedy White comes back in, as does attacking fullback Alana Janchevsky. These 2 changes shifting Chelsea Blissett and Laura Pickett to the bench. Well, fresh conditions in the southeast of Melbourne this afternoon. A healthy looking crowd making its way in to support their teams. A Melbourne derby, no less, in this fixture. Jeff Hopkins, in his 10th season in charge, he's had to do it the hard way as well, just scraping into finals and now with a fight on his hands this afternoon. But for a coach who's been here and done this many times before, no doubt he'll have a plan in mind. Well, the words of Michael Matriciani throughout the week, wherever our feet are, that's where we are. A little philosophical perhaps, but the words of 3-time premiership winning coach Matriciani cut a confident figure heading into this afternoon's fixture. Our referee this afternoon, Michaela Ryan, her 29th A-League match, supported today by Misuk Park and Vicky Clark as assistant referees, and Sophie Allam, our 4th official for the day. Last minute team talks happening at either end. Important words departed. What an important fixture it is for Letitia McKenna. Janchevsky, one of the changes for the afternoon, coming in after starting the first 14 games for the club. Found herself back on the bench, but a player with a wicked left foot who will be important for set pieces and the like. 23-year-old Janchevsky, no doubt, with an attacking role to play for the afternoon. All in readiness at Control Cyber Pitch on a cool afternoon in Melbourne. Second leg semi-final. So we're underway in the southeast of Melbourne, and the home team, Melbourne City, with just the slightest of comforts, bring a 1-goal lead into this second leg of the semi-final against Melbourne Victory. Bragging rights on the line. A Melbourne derby serves as a massive second leg of the semi-final and a spot in the grand final up for grabs. It's great to be joined again by someone who knows just a bit about finals football all too well, former Sydney FC icon, Teresa Polias.
Thank you, Grace, and what an occasion. I thought the first leg was a really tactical and, like you said, cagey battle, but I think today we might see a more open game, particularly if Melbourne Victory can strike first. I think they've got the potential to really reset this semi-final.
Needing to find a way back into this two-legged semi. Melbourne Victory, as mentioned, do make a couple of changes. And they're attacking changes at that. Kennedy White is chasing this down for Victory. Now the American 25-year-old. 8 goals for the season, but a bit of a dry spell at the moment. White, she's come back into the side, as has Alana Janchevski, the number 66 on her back. An attacking-minded fullback, no doubt looking to get forward and involve herself in some of the attack that Jeff Hopkins' team will need this afternoon.
Yeah, I think those changes really show you what he wants from his team today. I think they need to be more potent and threatening going forward, getting numbers forward into the box, and with a player like Janchevski, she can potentially deliver the ball where it needs to go. So, yeah, 2 interesting changes. Not surprised that Jeff's changed things up.
Here is Janchevski, some early touches on the ball. Can't beat it to Rossbacken, who's first to it, but Bunge settles things for Victory. Well, City, of course, have a pretty impressive run in recent history against Melbourne Victory. Their last 8 games undefeated. So a bit of work for Victory to do this afternoon, but they're going to have to if they want a spot in this year's Ninja A-League Grand Final. Here's a moment for Kennedy White, has a little turn and shoots on sight. Asking the question is City's defence. Perhaps they thought maybe an offside involved, but nonetheless an early sighter for Victory.
Well, the arms are up there. City disorganised, and Kennedy White, I mean, this is a big chance for her. She really scuffed that shot unopposed. It's a real good opportunity there for Melbourne Victory.
White back in the starting side, having been on the bench for the last couple of finals games. Here's a good battle between 17-year-old Shelby McMahon and Furphy, 2 very sprightly players. Well, Shelby McMahon for City awarded the Rising Star Award across the week for Melbourne City's annual awards night. Stott Players Player and Player of the Year, cleaning up for City, and Leah Davidson, recipient of the Melissa Barbieri Award. Well, likewise for Victory, they had their awards night as well. It was Kayla Morrison who was awarded Players Player. Rachel Lowe picked up the Victory medal for the season, and O'Grady for goal of the season, the equaliser that saw Victory incredibly come from a 3-0 deficit to draw with Central Coast Mariners a little earlier in the season. That's a point that Jeff Hopkins referenced across the course of this week in preparation, looking at come-from-behind moments, evidence to suggest that they can get the job done today.
They certainly can. They're a team experienced in finals football. We've seen them time and time again in these situations, so they're a team you cannot write off at all. I think City have approached the game in the right way.
McNamara, early centre in ball, has a good sight. Keane drops it off to McKenna. A deflection and still not completely dealt with. Janchevski eventually does clear for Victory. White can't keep it in.
Not at all convincing at the back from Melbourne Victory. They need to be careful here because a bit of a lapse in concentration. Very dangerous areas. They certainly don't want to go a goal down early in this match. It would make things extremely difficult for them.
Mann, square to Otto. Now Turner as City look to form a way through this Victory defence. In drives Keane. Great explosive power. The little helpful touch from McNamara shapes up really well, but that's good defence by Morrison. shouts to suggest it might have been a City corner. Nothing doing, says the referee, Michaela Ryan.
Bonus there for Melbourne Victory. Good recovery run from Morrison. She wins her team the goal kick as well.
Confirmation that the aggregate score as it stands from that first leg of the semi. 1-0 to City. So to get back on level terms, Victory need a goal. A 0-0 draw would do it today for City. An unchanged 11 to this City team. Rossbacher can look forward, down the line, and looks to push it past Janchevsky. Riley Henry will chase it down. Does well to keep it in. Janchevsky there to pick up a loose ball. Now down the line, but can't beat Rossbacher. Good strength by White, who she's just held slightly, does get a free kick.
They've settled into this game really well. You can see they're comfortable on the ball, forward runs. Here's the foul on Kennedy White. She does well between Rossbacher and Stott. Not much in that, but hands up there from Rossbacher.
This is where Janchevsky will be so important today. The left foot, set pieces, corners, free kicks. Sends this one long, up and under and straight to Mires. Well, 4 saves last week Milena Mires had to make against Melbourne Victory. Just the 2 for Courtney Newbon. Some very important moments at either end of the field.
Well, they were so solid at the back, Melbourne City, really hard to break down. So when you mention a player like Alana Janchevsky, those set pieces and deliveries are all the more important to try and get one over City.
Forward to low, a little nudge from Davidson. Good battle this one. Davidson forms a pass to Rossbacher, who clears out, over touch. Busy down this close side. Victory's attacking left-hand side, City's defensive right. Henry dropping in for some defensive duties. Now Rossbacher down the line. Claudia Bunge, football fern. Right to Taylor Ray, who at the moment is dropping into the centre-back position alongside Bunge. Early ball through. It's not a bad one either. White's there, drops it back off if the Victory player was there to arrive, but instead just finding 18 Keane.
Really good hold-up play there from Kennedy White. Just didn't have the option early enough of that following run.
Policina against her former side, tries to thread the needle, can't beat Stott. Pressure coming through from White. City just clearing for distance. You can see the high press already from Victory. They want to be on the front foot. They've got a deficit to chase. City happy to hold for now. Yvonne's distribution nice to Morrison. Morrison in space. Thinks about the pass to White, not on the same page. McNamara now. Backs herself, pushes it past low. Just needs a release pass, tries to find last week's goal scorer, Letitia McKenna. And again, it's Victory back in possession.
We can see how deep, once again, Taylor Ray is. I think her role is critical today because it allows Janchevsky to get forward, as well as Bunge on the other side. They need to be aggressive here and they need to send those numbers forward. And for me, Taylor Ray's the key.
Stott wants to turn things around, will stretch the legs of Aiden Keane. Of course, Taylor Ray, serial winner in the Ninja A-League, Central Coast Mariners, Sydney FC, knows a thing or two about finals, as does that man, Jeff Hopkins.
Well, we know wherever Taylor Ray goes, the results follow, so Interesting one today. Did she spur her team into getting the job done?
Well, Keane, a player who would like to do the same for Melbourne City. What a season she's had with the Citizens. Looks to push it past Ray, does very well. Keane blocked just once, and the second time the shot tempts past Courtney Newborn's goal. That's not too far off.
You would have thought she was covered there one-on-one, 18 Keane, but she makes things happen. She skips past defenders time and time again, and she created something from almost nothing there for Holly Mack in that area. Very dangerous area. We know how prolific Holly Mack can be in and around the box.
First corner of the afternoon going the way of Melbourne City, and it will be Letitia McKenna to take on a left boot, no less, the in-swinger. Arriving, good shape on the delivery as well. Nice clearance first time, good block second. McKenna will get another chance. Shouts for a handball, waved away. Pressure relieved just for now. Here's Danielle Turner. For City, finds her goalkeeper Mears, who wants to get it back up from where it just came. Nice idea to help that on first time, but Bunge is first to it. Turner, 34-year-old. Great experience. Danielle Turner. All minutes so far for City, just her and Taylor Otto, the two players to appear. And every available minute so far for Michael Matriciani's side. Here's Ray. Throw in for victory. Short to low. Mar settles the touch.
Pressing. Yeah.
Newborn happy to clear for distance.
Yeah.
Second ball is won by McMahon. Now Davidson. Third year at Melbourne City for Shelby. McMahon turns 18 on Wednesday. Incredible to think she's still just 17.
Pass back.
That's amazing to see her development, and obviously shown in her winning that Rising Star Award through the week. Really great to see, and obviously that would give her a big boost of confidence heading into another huge game like today.
Good.
She's made that midfield spot her own, Shelby McMahon. Here's McKenna, finding Davidson. The pressure from victory. City just run themselves into a little bit of trouble.
A bit cagey so far. Both teams seem to break down a bit in their front third, having a bit of difficulty pulling apart the defensive lines.
Ray again dropping into the defensive line for victory. Well, we saw her do that a bit last season with the Central Coast Mariners. Taylor Ray dropping back into the centre of defence. This time more of a hybrid role between midfield and that right fullback position.
Yeah, she's such a disciplined player. So if there's a player that's able to hold their position and keep things safe, it's Taylor Ray, and that allows Grace Marr or Bunge and even Morrison at times to dart forward and create that extra number for victory.
McNamara with a bit of space and time to measure the pass. Doesn't quite get that one right. A little too straight in the end, and
No press.
the ball finds its way all the way through.
Get a sense that both teams still trying to work each other out a bit here.
Marr looks over the top, clears the head of Rosbach and Policina a little too far away. So 15 minutes tick by. McNamara needing a little support, finds it through Davidson. Ball for all of their 37 goals scored across the season. True to form, Melbourne City have not scored in the opening 15 minutes.
Yeah, let's go.
They've always been a team that doesn't panic. They just stick to their values, and even when they go down, they don't panic. They seem to be able to always get the job done.
Yeah. Yeah.
The ball is where they want it for now. Melbourne City in their attacking half. Rosbacken with the throw. Searching for McNamara. Janchevsky first to it.
Good body.
White. Good connected
Watching.
play.
Good ball.
Stolen away from Lowe by McKenna. Back inside to Davidson.
Good.
That pass a little narrow.
Watching. Good. Shoulder, shoulder. Pressing.
Morrison will drive into space. Releases Janchevsky. Early ball into the box. Furphy was advancing.
Keeper.
See the idea behind the delivery.
5.
That's what Victory are aiming to do. Drive numbers forward, get the ball forward as quickly as possible, and inject players like Kennedy White and Holly Furphy into the game.
That's a nice ball. McKenna has options in front. McNamara to her left. Pulls right instead. Henry settles the ball nicely. Henry drive into Janchevsky. Slows just a little. Rosbacken searching ball in over the top. Skips away from Keane, who has done incredibly well to keep that ball in. Has Ray to beat. Aideen Keane. Pass one. Keane on the strike, and that's not too far off either. Build in for City.
Once again, brilliant work from Aideen Keane. You would have thought that ball had gone out, certainly for a goal kick. Does so well to keep it in, and up against her good mate Taylor Ray here. Sends her in and out and creates another goal-scoring opportunity.
Oh, she's looked lively, Aideen Keane. Melbourne City, her 5th club in 5 years. She's really had to journey around, and this is arguably her best season yet in the Ninja A-League.
Yeah, I think she's found her home, Grace.
And she looks comfortable. Started at Western Sydney, moved to Perth, Sydney FC, Canberra United, and now Melbourne City. Aideen Keane, the 24-year-old. Her best ever return in a season. The most minutes as well. Furphy returning from an offside position. Or perhaps not, a free kick a little further back the field, my mistake. So Victory dropping into the back three in possession. Bunge holding down the middle with Ray to her right, Morrison to her left, and Morrison is searching for the ball, which releases the likes of O'Grady and Janchevsky. O'Grady we've not seen much of in this opening almost 20 minutes. Janchevsky, at least the delivery so good from Janchevsky. Really good hands from Mirez.
Well, that's what Jeff Hopkins wants to see from his team. Really good build-up from Victory. You could see the two centre-backs splitting really, really wide and creating that open space for players like Rachel Lowe to get on the ball and get players like Janchevsky on the ball out wide for those really effective deliveries.
So there's two changes at the start of the game. Coming into clear view, Blissett and Pickett dropped from the traditional back four for a makeshift back three, which we're seeing come into play here for Melbourne Victory. A more attacking formation for Jeff Hopkins, needing to chase this 1-0 deficit.
If they can inject Ella O'Grady into the game a bit more, I think it'll create more of a headache for Melbourne City.
O'Grady, who has had a pretty spectacular final series. 2 goals in that game against Canberra United. Bit of a shoulder concern coming into last week's first leg of this semi-final. O'Grady yet to really get involved in today's game. 20 minutes tick by. That control side of the pitch. The second leg of this semi-final. Victory needing to do a little bit to find themselves back in this contest. Three shots at goal the way of the home team. Only one on target though, and that's got Victory's name behind it. Certainly managing just a little bit more of possession at the moment. That's a nice ball. Numbers searching in for Victory, and the ball floated into the 18-yard box, doesn't threaten in the end.
Well, you could see the difference today for Melbourne Victory. They've got more passages of controlled possession going forward, and they're getting into good areas. As you see the cross going from Ma there, it's just at times that final product they need to just tweak.
Can't find its way over Grace Ma in midfield for Victory. That's a nice turn from Davidson. Good shift of weight. Now Ross Backer. Davidson with time, turns out. Key, happy to face forward and run at Ray. Ray just disciplined defence if she can keep in check with her pace. Keane, again, another good ball across the face of goal. 3 times now, Aideen Keane has produced a really good chance.
Easy, Carly. Get a breather for her, boy.
She's the danger player so far. I can't understate how well she's doing in those one-on-one situations. You've got a player like Taylor Ray, so well balanced and disciplined, and she's making it look like light work out there on the left.
She had a lot of joy last week up against Pickett. Pickett on the bench this afternoon. Taylor Ray been given the job today against her good friend, as you said, indeed. Aideen Keane and Taylor Ray went through their rehab together, having done their ACLs. Close friends, and today maybe enemies, at least for 90 minutes. Here's Stott. Davidson square to Otto. Ball finds its way to Keane again this battle. Now Davidson coming through across to cover Janczewski. Here's O'Grady. Low. That pass has gone a little astray, and Bunge is having to work to avoid a corner.
Bunge does everything she can to save the ball from going out for a corner there. We know how dangerous City are off set pieces and corners.
I'll throw in instead. Former English youth international Danielle Turner to take in an advanced position. Keane still busy. Otto all the way back to goalkeeper Milena Mires. Stop to Ross Backen. Searching down the line for Henry, but she's closely marshalled by Janczewski. Second year at Victory for Alana Janczewski, her childhood club, having moved around the A-League somewhat herself. Well, after last week's first leg of this semi-final, today marks the 4th time these two teams have met in finals. Prior to last week's game, back in 2023, it was the elimination final at this very field where Victory would go on to win in penalties, in a penalty shootout. So City want to right the wrongs of that past. Here's Lowe. Wide to O'Grady. O'Grady fashions a cross in, punched away by Mires. Drops to Ma, who's capable from this distance. Finds O'Grady instead. O'Grady again. Plants it in the middle, bounces. Henry across to cover. Morrison can't quite keep that touch alive.
Victory with just the 2 touches in the opposition box. Really opting for more deliveries today, but struggling to find that player on the end of it.
Of course, other than the famous elimination final penalty shootout just mentioned in 2023, the only other time that these teams have met in finals was back in 2022, a preliminary final where Victory won 3-1 in regular time. So while it's been a dominant recent history by City, Victory certainly do have the edge when it comes to finals history in this fixture.
That's what makes them so dangerous and dark horses, coming in as that 6th position on the ladder.
Can't split possession in the last 10 minutes. Little passages of control. Not much difference either in the amount of time spent in the final third. Probably Firth is brought to ground.
Now double team on Furphy there. Let's not forget it is a Melbourne derby.
The Melbourne derby veiled as a semi-final second leg, a must-win game for Melbourne Victory. Michael Matritrani was a fairly cool customer across the week, all very process-driven. They trust and understand their style of play, Melbourne City. No changes, completely unchanged. In fact, starting 11 through to the bench. And a free kick the way of Melbourne Victory.
The ball was nowhere near her. The ball was nowhere near her, that's the difference.
A few words on the side there. Potential nudge in the back. City aren't happy about. Here we see it. Oh, there's the initial nudge. You cannot deny that.
Free kick the way of Melbourne Victory, and unsurprisingly, Janchevsky standing over it. Has Policina short as an option. Indeed, it will be Policina to take instead the in-swinger on the right boot. Policina drops it into a dangerous area, a little too close to the goalkeeper.
So Mira's all over that. Floated, cross in.
So City happy to hold their ground as Victory look to pick apart a way forward. That touch won't do. Keane has a bit of space. McNamara to her right. Great tackle just to interrupt things from Grace Maher. What a reintroduction to the side it has been for Grace Maher. Last 2 games, full 90 minutes prior to that on the bench, fighting, scrapping for minutes after an early season run of games, and then just on the bench was all she could find.
Well, she hit the ground running, had a really good performance. And that intervention we just saw was critical.
Just a 9th start of the campaign, Grace Maher. Of course, don't forget tomorrow, Wellington Phoenix against Brisbane Roar. That second leg of their semi-final. That's going to be huge. Porirua Clark, a sellout, and what an atmosphere that will be. Wellington Phoenix also chasing a 1-goal deficit against the Roar.
Well, Janchevsky, he runs over the top. Briley Henry. City win the foul here.
Well, plenty going on down this near side of the pitch. Certainly more of the action happening close to the benches in in this opening 30 minutes. Still 0-0 here at control side of the pitch. In the second leg of this semi-final, hopeful ball forward by Davidson. A long way to go yet, but of course if City win this game through aggregate this afternoon, they'll secure a home grand final. If Victory go on to win, they'll await the result of tomorrow's game to understand where the game will be played, as the lowest ranked finals team, Melbourne Victory, would have to travel either to Brisbane Raw's home ground or Wellington Phoenix. That pass leaving a bit to be desired for Taylor Ray to chase down. He's done well.
Victory no strangers to travelling for finals. I'd say I have experienced that myself, so I don't think they'd mind where. They just want to get there, really.
Here's McMahon. Rossbacken happy to turn out. Here's Mires. Back to Rossbacken. Pressure arriving from Ma. Stop looks long. Morrison sweeping across to cover Newbon. Happy to clear high and long, over halfway. Such a steady head is McMahon. Little clip of the heels, McNamara brought to ground by Janchevsky. Suggesting maybe there's been a couple of those, looking for perhaps a yellow card.
Well, Janchevsky laughing it off, but there's the foul. It is late. Smart play there from Holly McNamara. She knew Janchevsky was coming at her, so intelligent play to win the foul in a good area here.
Good numbers forward for City. Quite a high line for Victory. McKenna's delivery. Stock goes early. Ball through and Newbon's out to punch away. Policina settles with a neat touch. Turner happy to help it back in where City have numbers. Henry is up. McNamara. McMahon. Keane into Victory's defence. McMahon! Well, that's special! The rising star with a spectacular hit. It's a cherry on top of the season that has been standout by the 17-year-old. And it had been building. But what a finish from Shelby McMahon.
A technical masterclass. Our Harvey Norman replay will show it. The rising star, absolutely amazing technique here. Ball bounces up and on the half volley, she buries it. That is phenomenal technique from Shelby McMahon.
Or unstoppable from McMahon. And you really do not hit them any sweeter than that. That is such a nice goal.
She hit that plum. It would have felt amazing, and add that to the highlights reel.
Her fourth for the season. Turns 18 on Wednesday, and what a birthday present that is for Shelby McMahon. Well, it's extended the aggregate lead to 2 goals. Victory with some work to do here.
Well, I mean, it was an awkward bounce, and for her to have that courage to hit it on the half volley, put her team ahead. Second leg of the semi-final. What a moment.
What kind of response can Victory conjure, because they need one? Ma, little help over the top. Turner's first to it, a little awkward. Victory corner.
Well, Victory, they've got to do something quickly here. They really need to get back into this.
Well, set pieces important now for Jeff Hopkins' Melbourne Victory. They've scored 4 times off corners across the course of the season. How dearly they need one now. Policina to take against her former team. The in-swinger, nice shape on the delivery too. Bodies flying at the contest. O'Grady left on the ground, wants to have a word with the referee.
Well, O'Grady throws herself at the ball there. It's a good in-swinger from Policina in that dangerous area, but so many bodies around. O'Grady arguing perhaps there was a push in the back, but the referee was all over it.
Bunch. Now Morrison, Janchevsky. Furphy does well to reclaim the touch. Back to Janchevsky, first time pass forward to Policina. Nice little turn inside the 18-yard box. Likewise for Rachel Lowe, just ran into a little bit of traffic. Melbourne Victory need a response. Morrison, Policina posts up against Rosbacken. Just edging forward is Melbourne Victory. Ma, Policina, almost within shooting distance, scuffs the shot.
You can see how compact the Melbourne City defensive block is. It's so hard to break down, and that's resorting to longer shots on the weak foot of a player like Policina, and not as effective for Victory.
Almost fell kindly to Kennedy White. Pass trying to release Henry is intercepted, and Janchevsky wants to keep that alive for Victory. Off the body of Rosbacken, who can chase it down. Wayward touch finds Ma. Now Furphy. 2 City players to beat. Davidson comes out on top. Ma again reclaims for Victory. Low in tight spaces. Furphy. Nice deft touch, Holly Furphy. Can she fashion something? She can. Just another easy catching practice for Mires in goal.
Well, this is really well worked from Holly Furphy. She's trying to make things happen in a busy box there. Really does well to skate past the defenders and get a shot away, but not enough to beat Mires.
Ma skips past one, fouled by Henry. Setting the trap to pick their moment. Bunge assessing the picture in front. Of course, Claudia Bunge, one of a few Kiwis playing across the Ninja A-League, looking to secure their spot in Michael Main's Football Ferns squad ahead of the World Cup. She's on the ball now. Ray finds Furphy in space. Furphy tries a shot herself, almost all the way through. Does take a touch from Mires.
Good positioning once again from Holly Furphy. She's goal-orientated today, which is fantastic to see, and really challenges Mires into the save. Victory need more of that.
Just 2 goals for the season, Holly Furphy, but thumbs up suggests she liked the pass that found her. Policina's last delivery into the box was good.
Good take, talk to her, Tate. Tisha, find it.
Policina, nice ball yet again. Too much contact in the box, says the referee.
crowds up in the box here. Very busy box, plenty of bodies in there. Inconclusive from that angle.
Mara just bodied off the ball by Ma. That's a nice release pass to find Ray. Down will chase Keane against Ray. Bodies her off the ball, and that's won back well by Turner. Inside the last 5 minutes of this first half, and Keane is just so explosive. That pace. O'Grady across to cover and latters Keane to ground.
O'Grady drops to assist against 18 Keane. She's done such a good job on that left side of getting past Taylor Ray. It's a heavy challenge there from O'Grady.
Perhaps more equal in speed, O'Grady and Keane. O'Grady providing a bit of cover and support for Ray. Resulting corner. McKenna, this time off the right boot. McKenna's delivery. Hung up in the air away by Morrison. A defensive header. McKenna will get another chance. Doesn't get quite the right piece of it. Nicely worked by Furphy. Tug of the shirt, surely cited by the referee. It is indeed.
Definitely an obvious one there, McKenna. Plenty of the shirt there.
No yellow card produced. I think that was the conversation, the question perhaps Hopkins was asking the fourth official.
There it is, yeah. A very obvious one. I mean, he's got a point there. It is, she's broken up an attack there. So textbook yellow card in my books.
Kayla Ryan perhaps disagrees with you, Teresa Polias. No yellow cards produced just yet as we tick closer to half-time of the first half, the second semi-final. Ma, nice little clip through to White, who brings that down quite neatly. White, well, a couple of times, good positions, not quite the execution to match.
Kennedy White, very good with her back to the goal. Shows why there, a couple tight touches and manages to get a shot away. Didn't connect well, though. Certainly not well enough to beat Mires today.
Well, it's a huge half-time talk coming up for Jeff Hopkins' side. The attacking changes, the attacking formation from the start of play. As Grace Ma shrugged off a City player in her wake. Can't find a connecting pass. Of course, massive semi-final tonight in the Isuzu Ute A-League. Sydney FC hosting the Newcastle Jets. That one on Paramount Plus and 10 drama. You do not want to miss it. Finals football coming at you thick and fast. Well, this is not a good sign. 18 Keane looks to be in a fair state, clutching at that right foot.
It's a replay, and this is not a sight you want to see.
Oh, you see it as well in the replay, just that right ankle go over. A player a lot of footballers know all too well, an injury rather, just that ankle tweak, and in that moment, that pain just sears through the ankle.
You can just tell from her own reaction. It's that right ankle there. Heavy roll.
Hard to see that one in slow motion, and Aideen Keane, who has been really good in this opening first half, had a great season. Devon Jackson warming up, and Laura Hughes. Sometimes you can get back up, strap the ankle up.
Well, the other thing, we're approaching half-time as well, and it's when you stop moving and things tend to seize up, so a bit concerning for Aideen Keane.
Well, she's certainly been a bright point in this first half for Melbourne City. 3 minutes added at the end of this first half. Aideen Keane in discussion with the physios and doctors. And that would be such a shame if that were to end her afternoon, but she doesn't look to be particularly comfortable as that right ankle Looks like it's immediately swelled up.
Certainly has. They'll look to compress it as quickly as possible, but not a good sign for City or 18 Keen.
Certainly changes that I mentioned down that attacking side for City. We've seen time and time again Keane just pushing the ball past Taylor Ray, creating some really good goal-scoring chances. So into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Ma, who's been busy. Janchevsky 2, pushes the pass forward to Furphy. McMahon gives chase and covers well. Bunge looks straight down the middle. Here's that hold-up play from White. Needs some support and arrives through low. O'Grady takes on Turner, cuts inside. O'Grady, contact once, twice, nothing given, not enough, says Michaela Ryan. Play goes on. Ball launched forward. Bunge comfortable enough to cover. Briley Henry's there, just forcing her backwards.
O'Grady is still down.
Took some heavy contact and she looked to push through.
Here's her charging run up against Turner. Holly Mack did come in late. I mean, look again, and to me there was contact there, Grace.
No VAR, of course, T, in the semi-finals at least of the Ninja A-League. Maybe a different story come grand final time. Probably not quite enough contact, according to the referee. So stoppage time has all but ticked over. I imagine a few more seconds will remain, given those last couple of injury breaks. But a big, big second half coming up for both teams.
Starting to heat up.
Well, Victory want to play quickly. But Michaela Ryan has said she's seen enough, half-time. There's the whistle at the break in the second leg of the semi-finals. Shelby McMahon, one for the highlights reel. And what a season she is having. There is an almighty hill to climb on the other side for this Melbourne Victory team. Jeff Hopkins, the mastermind of finals, has a bit to think about. Should he want to see his team take to the grand final? Half-time at Control Cyber Pitch in Melbourne. It's Melbourne City 1, Melbourne Victory 0. Don't go anywhere. The halftime show is on the other side of this short break.
Welcome back to the Network 10 coverage of the Ninja A-League Final Series. It's 17-year-old Shelby McMahon who puts her side 2-0 ahead on aggregate with a stunning strike at control cyber pitch. So there's all to do for Melbourne Victory heading into what is the biggest second half in their season so far. Now, welcome to the Hungry Jacks halftime show. Joined again with Ash Sykes and Catherine Cannulli. Now, ladies, that wasn't the hard and fast start that Melbourne Victory promised in this match, was it?
Not quite, but I think they dominated possession and they seemed to settle into the game. They obviously had a clear plan, didn't they, Knowles, to sort of press and then play down one side of the field.
They really did. You can see how they've dropped in Taylor Ray to be that playmaker. They're trying to really overload on that left-hand side. You know, Jeff spoke about the early crosses, numbers in the box, and you can see that they're trying to do it. They just haven't really executed the plan just yet.
We know who has executed the plan at Melbourne City. Let's have a look at our Harvey Norman highlights. What a shot that was from Shelby McMahon. She's turning 18 in just 4 days' time. Early birthday present, and Knowles, we'll have to call you Mystic Knowles because she was the player you pointed out to make an impact, and she absolutely did.
Shelby's not one of those players that really, you know, goes out there and goes on the pitch and sort of, you know, that X-factor player, but she just does her job so well. But her technique is so superb. And for a player of her calibre to be able to strike this ball the way that she has, that technique is very, very hard. And it's a credit to the youngster. She's a real technician, and it's a credit to her and her performances over the last few weeks as well.
I like how she continued her run after they were trying their combination play. She was in the right spot when she needed to be to give herself the best chance to take that shot.
Well, now having a look at some of the chances for Melbourne Victory. Now, you mentioned they're dominating possession. They're building out with that back three, but they've sort of had half chances. It was Kennedy White in the opening few minutes. It was a shot on target, but it's not quite clicking for them at the moment.
No, not quite. And we see Melbourne City have had a lot of success with Aideen Keane running 1v1 against Taylor Ray here, not accustomed to defending out on the wing like that. Looking for a shot here, looking for crosses. She's been really proactive and really positive in the way that she's sort of taking her on. And I would too if I'm looking up and seeing a usual centre midfielder defending out in that position.
Absolutely. We know that Aideen Key is so rapid, especially when she's got the ball at her feet or she's making those runs in beyond there. And she's been a real force in this first half. Hopefully we can see her again in that second half. But to be honest, that matchup against Taylor Ray, credit to Taylor Ray. She's done really, really well. But a physical matchup, it's a really tough one.
And I see on Melbourne Victory side, I tell you who's stood up since that goal was scored is Furphy. She's been looking for opportunities across the park to try and get on the ball. I like the addition of Kennedy White. She hasn't quite been clinical in the box, but her post-up play has been really valuable, added another dimension to it. They need to start sort of taking advantage of these half chances, though.
Let's see if Victory can overturn that 2-0 deficit heading into the second half. That was our Hungry Jacks halftime show. Big second half coming up. And don't forget, the Alex Tobin and Claire Polkinghorne medals will be awarded to the winners in this season's grand finals.
This year's Alex Tobin Medal for the best player of the season, as nominated by the Paramount Plus football team, is brought to you by Ninja. And this season, Ninja is proud to introduce the Claire Polkinghorne Medal to be awarded to the best player of the Ninja A-League season. Both medal winners will receive an incredible $30,000 and will each nominate a junior football club to win $10,000 worth of Ninja products. Make sure you're watching the grand finals, where we'll reveal our winners with thanks to Ninja.
should take your time. When you're not looking, that's when you find someone that's worth your while. I try to stay patient, but how did I? How did I? Oh, all I know is I'm done now, falling. I can't have it if I keep falling. Head over feet, you make a mess out of me. Oh, don't wanna leave it up to me. Give me a moment, I'll take it. I know they say that good things come.
Kick off your investment journey with eToro. Invest in stocks, ETFs and crypto all in one app and start chasing your investment goals today. Join over 40 million users worldwide. eToro, proud sponsor of the A-Leagues. AFSL 491139, capital at risk, CPDS and TMD. Get ready to cheer. Just like Liberty supports the A-Leagues, they're on your team too. Whether you're planning a holiday or buying a new home, they could provide the assist you need to kick your free thinking goals. Liberty, loans for free thinkers. Adventure is everywhere. Go find yours in Isuzu Z-Max. Go your own way. Say hello to the Ninja Slushie, the easy, convenient way to make frozen drinks at home. No ice means no watered down drinks. No blending means smooth, perfect texture every time. Just pour, slush and enjoy. 5 one-touch programs for any drink you want. Enjoy perfect results every time. Transform almost anything with the Ninja Slushie.
Welcome back. There's a mountain of football heading your way here across Network 10 and Paramount Plus. The first semi-final leg between Auckland and Adelaide gets underway this afternoon. That's followed by Sydney FC taking on Newcastle Jets tonight at 7 p.m. Then next week it's the Coppa Italia final with Lazio facing Inter Milan. Who doesn't love a 4 a.m. wake-up call for that one? Then it's the AFC Champions League 2 final between El Nassr and Gamba Osaka, kicking off on Sunday, May 17th, starring Cristiano Ronaldo. Stay with us here. Second half Out Control Cyber Pitch is just moments away.
Yes, welcome back to the second half of this semi-final At Control Cyber Pitch between Melbourne City and Melbourne Victory. The home team currently nursing a 2-0 lead on aggregate, extending their 1-goal lead from the first leg via a delightful Shelby McMahon hit in the second. It's getting things underway as it's Melbourne City with kickoff into this second half. And you can see there the aggregate leaving a pretty big challenge for Melbourne Victory to chase. Perhaps they can start on the front foot here with Holly Furphy, who looks to get things forward. But quite a task ahead of them, Teresa Polias.
Yes, Victory have controlled the brunt of possession, but that one moment of technical brilliance is what separates these two teams.
Well, that's a bit of a scrappy start from City's defence. That may be exactly the start that Melbourne Victory need to get on the front foot. 2 goals just to draw back on level terms across the aggregate of these 2 games. 45 minutes to play. Grace Maher runs across for corner taking duties, taking over from Policina in the first half. It'll be the in-swinging left boot from Maher. That's a nice delivery as well. Good header, defended away. Maher might get another chance. Down the line this time to Policina. This delivery on the ground. White again with great hold-up play. It's just poked away. City goal kick. So from all accounts, no changes at the half-time break. But undoubtedly, we'll have to see Victory at some point in this half. Give an almighty roll of the dice.
Certainly will have to. They've already set out with that really high press, forcing Mires to go long off the goal kick.
Aidan Keane, who went down with a pretty nasty ankle roll just before that half-time break, is back out and has picked up where she left off. Good to see that she's okay to continue.
Fantastic to see her back out there. And back where she left off, really.
Well, we'll see how much she's got in her for this second half, because that was a particularly hard ankle roll to watch for Aidan Keane, but no doubt got things strapped up at half-time. Victory pushing forward. That's a nice ball finding its way through to White. Again, the back to goal play rather has been good for White. Just needs a bit more support this afternoon, dropping in underneath her.
Well, I'm sure that would have been a talking point for Victory at half-time, because time and time again, Kennedy White does the job. She holds the ball up, and it's that supporting play that Victory have lacked at times.
City sitting deep back in their own defensive half as Bunge advances forward. Pass left for O'Grady. She pushes inside, past one. Turner, good discipline defending. Still O'Grady, still alive. O'Grady gets the shot away. Solid clearance by Mires. Still bouncing. Policina. A skewed shot off the left boot.
Well, O'Grady's tenacity on show. Manages to nip in front of McMahon there and cause a bit of a headache for Mires. Does well to clear. It's a bright start for Melbourne Victory.
On the front foot, indeed, Melbourne Victory in this second half, and they need to be. Well, City have conceded so few goals across the course of the regular season. The one little window where they have been somewhat more susceptible than others is this 15-minute passage from the second half kickoff until the 60-minute mark. So if Victory are going to pounce, perhaps now's the time. The only team with a better defensive record is the Wellington Phoenix, of course taking on Brisbane Roar tomorrow. That's picked up nicely by Lowe. The Victory medalist for the season, Rachel Lowe. Again, great ball all the way through to White. Good turn. Switching the point of attack. Lowe to Ray. O'Grady, who's already been more involved in this second half than she was in the first. Policina turns to fashion a cross. Well, that's a good start from Victory.
Once again, getting a bit of joy on that right side. Policina really working the line there. She rolls Davidson, puts in an effective cross. Stott on the back of Kennedy White there.
Positive start, first 5 minutes from Melbourne Victory. Again, it's Grace Maher to take. Maher's delivery, this time to the far post. Morrison was up. City goal kick.
Morrison really rose high. Just couldn't get the connection on the end that she wanted.
Lovely touch from McNamara, who can turn and run at Victory's defensive line. That's a good ball through to Keane as well, who'll go the shot herself. Well, really good chance by Aideen Keane, who limps away from the opportunity. Almost made it 2 for the afternoon. Great play by City.
Very effective transition there from City, and Aideen Keane really does well to power in front of Taylor Ray. But how about the goalkeeping from Courtney Newbon? She almost knew what was coming, gets down really quickly and parries that to the side. Outstanding.
Top save by Newbon. And it won't be a clean sheet for the afternoon for Courtney Newbon, but she does have 7 of them for the season. Really big moment. Aideen Keane certainly proppy on that ankle though. Ray to Lowe. Intercepted by Davidson. Lowe does well, just to pinch back pole position. Nice challenge by McMahon. Victory first to it. Good use of body by Rebecca Stott. Experienced defending on that occasion. Here's Stott. Henry. Stott again to tidy up. That one a little wasteful through the line. Back to Newbon. Kat Haddad is sidelined for us this afternoon. Kat, how's it looking from your point of view?
Good afternoon, ladies. I've spoken to officials from both sides, and in terms of the home side, who are consolidating their lead at the moment, the messaging from Michael Matriciani was all about continuing the way that they're playing the game, to be positive, to keep control, and to be calm in possession. That was the messaging from him. On the other side, from Jeff Hopkins' perspective, he was gutted for the girls and felt that they had defended really well. He wants Ella O'Grady higher up on the pitch. He wants the girls utilising the midfield in a better way and getting Alana Yanchevsky up there as well. But that's all taken from his iconic notebook, no doubt.
Thanks very much for the update, Kat. There is the notebook. Another chance. Just went big in those last couple of moments. And Davidson might look to extend the lead, catching practice for Newbon again, but up the other end, Mires was forced into another good save just moments earlier. So a level of openness about this second half. Still feels like the game is alive.
It certainly is. It's end to end now, and Victory are no strangers to a comeback. I recall round 9 against the Mariners. It's a game I'll never ever forget. 3-0 down, and in injury time they came back to draw 3-3. So they have that in them. They are a danger.
Spot on, T. It was one of the points that Jeff Hopkins drummed into the side across the week, showing footage of Liverpool, Barcelona, of that 3-0 deficit that they returned from against the Mariners. O'Grady huge in that game. Certainly doable. XG, 0.4 for Melbourne City, 0.87 for Melbourne Victory. Just speaks to the quality of that Shelby McMahon strike. Technical masterclass on display. Henry wants to squeeze it through. Morrison read the pass well. Henry's done well. Equally so there to win possession back for City. Davidson on to Rossbacken, now Henry. Nice build-up from City, if they can find an end product as well. Arriving with the strike, and what a good opportunity that would have been for Leah Davidson. Hasn't scored this campaign, the cap to Matilda.
Well, that was a great cutback from Briley Henry, and Davidson, she's had a couple goes of it in recent minutes. Not enough there to beat Courtney Newborn, but City getting numbers into the box. They're still a threat. They still want more of a deficit here.
Here's Keane, still surviving on that ankle. It's a nice push forward. Bungees across. Keane can't win out on that challenge. Ball through to Kennedy. White will give chase. Stott close for company. White needing some reinforcements. Here's O'Grady. Pushes it inside. O'Grady's delivery. Nicely done to Furphy. Facing the wrong way as it stands. Janczewski! Blocked well by Otto. It had Mires worried. That's better from Victory.
Otto steps up again. She did her defensive duties off the corner earlier, and she now gets in front of that shot.
Policina, a little clip in, a little too close. Victory on the charge for the last couple of minutes.
Replay of that moment, Janczewski's shot where Otto blocks it really well.
City's record when scoring first across the season is not one that is happy reading for Melbourne Victory. In 11 games, they've scored first. They've gone on to win 10 of them, draw 1. They have not lost when taking the lead first. They want to add another to it. A long drifted cross. Got a shot nor a cross in the end.
Well, they're not sitting back. Certainly too early for that, and we know it's not part of their values to really do that. We know Michael Matriciani spoke about that pre-game, and really they've stuck to that the whole game. They've got such a good advantage, and to see them continue to go for it is such a positive sign.
Well, they're a team with the best passing accuracy in the league is Melbourne City. And at the moment, Victory are just edging possession. City happy to sit back just a little, absorb some of the pressure. There's a look at possession. City 41, Victory 59 as it stands. Rays across to cover. Jeff Hopkins preparing what looks to be his first change of the afternoon in Nikki Flannery, readied on the sideline. Throw in down the line by Turner. Policina, who spent the last 4 years with Melbourne City. And here is that first change of the afternoon. Nikki Flannery replacing Kennedy White, who's put in a good shift over 60 minutes. But Flannery, the 27-year-old, comes on for her 7th appearance of the season. A really tough, injury-ravaged year. Flannery building back minutes. Great to see her back out there. All 7 appearances have come off the bench for Flannery. That's a nice touch by McNamara. Offside flag raised. So 30 minutes remain in this second leg of the semi-final between Melbourne City and Melbourne Victory. Victory chasing a 2-goal deficit. Davidson, clever little chip over the top. Likewise, clever header back to her goalkeeper by Morrison.
Very well read there from Morrison. Holly McNamara in a dangerous position between Bunge and Morrison, but well cleared.
Victory throw. Here's Janchevski. Looking to urge her team along a little. Lofted cross into the box. Out is Mira's assertive goalkeeping. In streams low. Now it drops to Flannery. First touches off the bench. Furphy. Low. Stolen away by Keane. Has done incredibly well nursing that sore ankle. Great defending by Grace Maher.
She's been phenomenal in the middle of the pitch, going forward, tracking back. Here's the industrious work from Aideen Keane. It's miraculous she's out there to begin with, and especially City thinking they're in prime position to advance, and thinking ahead, you would have thought maybe we don't take the risk, but she's back out there. Credit to her.
Well, no doubt there'll be a bit of a sore ankle across the next couple of days, but for now, she's still riding absolutely every challenge, Aideen Keane. Hopeful ball in is eventually cleared away by Rossbacken. Touch left, a little short by Ray, but it's done well. Bunge, a little reactive, gets a toe in the end. McKenna gives good chase. The field becoming really stretched now, a lot of space. McKenna, last week's goal scorer, came through a free kick just before half-time. So 2 first-half goals for Melbourne City across the course of these 2 games.
Victory are in such a difficult position here. They've got to really focus all their energy getting forward. They've got no choice, but then that leaves them vulnerable. Taking that focus off the defensive side of things.
McNamara has a go herself. Almost fashions the spectacular out of nothing.
There was barely a run up there off that shot. The power she generated standing was incredible. The one step and a hit. Great strike, just wide.
Well, this season's golden boot, Holly McNamara. Incredible scoring rate in the Ninja A-League. Across what is her 57th appearance today in the competition. 38 goals. That would have been a pretty special 39th finish. Still time yet. McKenna. That's a good ball into a dangerous area. Bodies arriving. Second corner.
Corner floats in a dangerous area there, and Victory fortunate. Takes a favourable deflection.
McKenna to take. Good quality on the delivery again. Ray scuffs away. McNamara helps it back in. A little wide this time. Newbon's looking to move quickly. Short through Morrison. Turner getting a wriggle on by the referee. Up goes Ray. Turner's throw. McNamara back to goal. Looks for Keane. Victory look for a way out. Here's Policina. Through the lines. Wanting O'Grady. McKenna keeps possession. Henry slows to a walk, finds a pass to Davidson. McMahon, a makeshift centre back to Otto, now Turner. There's McMahon again through the lines, and Turner advanced. Rebecca Stock. Stretching the field is City. That cross blocked and coolly dealt with by Morrison.
Well, City just circulating the ball really nicely. They're in the driver's seat here. They're showing that. They're playing with confidence. And then they're in total control right now.
Just once City have done the double premiers and champions 2020. Why they just dare to dream? Well, not if Holly Furphy has something to say about that. The ball too close to Mires, plays quickly. Another change being readied by Jeff Hopkins. City were in a grand final was only a couple of seasons ago, 2024. Won the premiership and went on in the grand final, losing to Sydney by a lone goal. Of course, Victory falling short in last year's grand final against the Mariners. Here's Flannery striding into space, needs some numbers in the box. Left a little isolated. Flannery tries to fashion a delivery. Can't quite wrap a boot around it. Well, here is this change arriving. It'll be Sophia Sakalis replacing Leanna Policina. And Sakalis for her 21st appearance. Well, she started most games across the course of the season. In more recent weeks, has found a place on the bench. So on she comes for a big 20 minutes or so.
Huge 20 minutes ahead for Sakalis. I think Jeff Hopkins trying to inject a bit of energy into the game. Policina, maybe one of her quieter games by her standards, makes way.
Change as well for City, their first of the afternoon, and it will be Letitia McKenna who's making way, being replaced by Laura Hughes. What's been another solid performance by McKenna. Hughes comes on for just her 9th of the season. Had a really difficult knee injury across the course of the year that's left her sidelined for a large part of it, but she's back, the 24-year-old. I once capped Matilda, now represents Wales in international football, Laura Hughes. And you imagine she'll slot in exactly where McKenna was, into the centre of the park.
Pretty much a like-for-like change there. Quality comes on for quality.
Well, Keane's still running. Furphy brought to ground and Leaves a little love on the shoulder of Aideen Keane, who's not too pleased with the attention. 20 minutes to play, just inside regulation time. This is a good chance for victory. A good delivery from Alana Janczewski. Stretch to the far post, might bounce all the way through, does to Morrison. Leaves her facing the wrong way. Here comes McNamara. Leaves the first touch behind, recovers the second. Morrison giving chase. We'll give a little nudge through the back. And surely the first yellow card of the afternoon is produced.
You can't deny that yellow ticket there. Morrison knew exactly what she was doing. The nudge in the back, break up the attack, and it's a clear yellow card.
So Morrison confirmed into the book for victory. And what is their 28th yellow card of the season, a league high stat. Captain Morrison doing what she had to slow down the rapid pace of Holly McNamara. So you wonder at what point Jeff Hopkins might have to take a bit of a gamble. Throwing numbers forward, risk versus reward.
Here's the foul again, Morrison. Knowing exactly what she needed to do to stop Holly McNamara. She was getting away. She's back up, ready to go, which is great to see. Wasn't in any hurry.
Surely Holly McNamara well and truly in the frame for the upcoming Matildas international window. The two teams, both City and Victory, absolutely riddled with Matildas capped players. Of course, you've got Taylor Ray, Rachel Lowe, McKenna, McNamara, Rosback, Davidson, Henry, Hughes and Barbieri, just to name a few. Postolakis as well. Here comes Keane. Keane's delivery is good. The returning Janczewski. Oh, that's important work. Nice scan by Ma, good touch from Lowe. Runs into a bit of trouble though, Grace Ma.
Great defensive work from Leah Davidson to dispossess Ma and then win the foul.
Davidson, another of those capped Matildas, making her international debut against Chinese Taipei in 2024.
So much quality out there.
Free kick has just stifled things for Victory, and Carly Rosbacken will take her time on this free kick. That left knee heavily strapped for Rosbacken. Sent into the far post, McNamara arriving. The defensive clearance just relieving pressure for a moment. City's throw. Rosbacken down the line and through for a Victory goal kick. Courtney Newbon is wanting to keep things moving. Sponge finds Ma. Wide to Janczewski, across comes Grady, important touch, but Rosbacken is across to cover again. Furphy, if she can find a centering ball, that will be important. Flannery, a good chance, a little behind the opportunity, can't quite get it on target.
Well, it's a fantastic chance for Nikki Flannery. Furphy doing great work, gets the cut back, and that's as good as a chance as they'll get, as they've had, really. And Flannery knew it.
Sakalis, she wants to make an impact too. Wouldn't that have been a moment for Flannery? Scored a little earlier on in the season against Newcastle. But if Victory can find a level-in goal here in this match, they'll just give that bit of energy they need. Contact on the edge of the box. No reaction from the referee. Oh, it's lovely work by McNamara, surely. A yellow card for Bunge, indeed.
Both centre-backs with a yellow card now. Danger time for Melbourne Victory.
Or sending more and more numbers forward, leaving themselves a little more open at the back.
Certainly, and I mean, chances are Holly Mack gets another opportunity, another transition forward, and they won't be able to do that.
Henry with a half chance. And a good flash forward, but couldn't get the connection on the strike. Inside 15 minutes of regulation time remain. Rosbacken has been a really regular performer this season for City, likewise last as well. Looks a little worse for wear after that challenge, Carly Rosbacken. Her 4th season at Melbourne City. She too had a really long stint on the sidelines with a foot injury that went undiagnosed and mistreated in Norway. It's wonderful to see her back playing really regular football for City.
It certainly is. She's been so consistent. That whole back line have been such a consistent unit for City. Really huge to their success, really. She's still walking gingerly. Not a good sign.
The block after that O'Grady challenge. Maybe just tweaking that right knee a little. The left one heavily strapped. Keane still full of running. Been readied on the sideline. It looks to be Alexia Apostolakis, who certainly hasn't been in first team favour for Michael Matriciani.
What a player to be able to bring on.
Oh, this is not great to see for Rosbacken, just down, needing a little bit of attention to, I think it's that right knee. Grady. To see, just checking in, she's okay, nothing at all wrong with the challenge, just those unfortunate ones. Victory, it will be O'Grady making way. Sienna Silvesca, another attacking outlet, just her 8th appearance, the 19-year-old. The big moments for these players to try and make an impact. Sent off to the closest sideline.
No doubt she would have liked to take the long route. Given where we're at in this game, it's certainly in that zone of game management for City.
Substitution for Melbourne City. Coming on with number 16,
Rosbacken indeed, the player making way. Alexia Apostolakis. Appearance number 21 for the season. Just came on for 1 minute last game, so she'll have a little over 10 this afternoon. Ma hopes that through to Morrison. Wide for Janchevsky, who's been really busy this afternoon, back in the starting lineup. So 10 minutes to play of regulation time. And time starting to be the enemy for Melbourne Victory. They've managed more of the ball in the second half, more shots on goal. The most important stat is the aggregate score, which as it stands is 2 goals in favour of Melbourne City. Now, if they can manage out this next 10 minutes or so, they have 1 foot in the big dance. Now pass a little behind Keane. McNamara continues her run. There she is again. Hughes an option inside, as is Henry. Henry wanting to face forward. Keane arriving, can turn and face. Shouts for a penalty as Keane goes to ground heavily. Waved away by the referee. Victory need to move quickly. Keane appearing to be in a fair bit of discomfort. Nice touch from Apostolakis. Now Hughes. That's a lovely challenge from Ma yet again. And Aideen Keane is going to get a bit of attention here.
Well, this is concerning once again. She does appear to be in a world of pain, and here's the challenge. On that right ankle, there was contact. It'd be extremely painful given the existing injury that's there.
I wonder if that might be the end of Aideen Keane's afternoon, as Michael Matriciani has a close look at Carly Rossbacken on the sideline. Certainly a concern for next week should City hold on to this result. But secure themselves a home grand final. Watching on closely, no doubt, Brisbane Roar, Wellington Phoenix, the winner of that team, that result rather, to face what as it stands looks to be Melbourne City.
Well, here's the challenge once again. Morrison coming in and definitely catching that right ankle. Surely Matriciani goes to the bench here.
Well, Devon Jackson, 28-year-old football fern, looks to be coming on for her 20th appearance of the season. It's Aideen Keane, able to take herself off under her own weight, but undoubtedly will have a bit of a sore right ankle across the next few days.
The next few days will be critical for Aideen Keane to get that under control and compressed and take out the inflammation, because as things stand, big week ahead for City if they can hold out.
Massive week ahead for City should this result remain. Here's the substitute Jackson, chasing down and able to face forward. Has 2 Victory players to beat, almost fashions a pass through. In the end, does indeed, and does well to work a corner for her side.
Davidson with the cross, deflecting off Bunge. City in no hurry to get this corner in. Apostolakis, the honours.
Or game management from here for Melbourne City. Nice delivery from Apostolakis, glancing to the far post, kept alive, still there for City, scuffed away in the end. Here's Stott. Hughes, numbers forward, congested area. That's a nice ball, almost not the numbers approaching. 5 minutes remain. Do or die time for Melbourne Victory. That pass leaves Taylor Ray with a bit of work to do. McNamara receiving plenty of attention from Victory's defence. Paramount Plus player index as it stands. Elena Mires, top of the pops with some really crucial interventions in goal. Shelby McMahon, well, a wonder strike. Newborn as well, goalkeepers busy this afternoon. And a midfield battle, Rachel Lowe, Leah Davidson. Has been a real arm wrestle in the middle of the park. McMahon. Acres of space is Briley Henry. Tries to fashion herself enough room to get a strike away. Apostolakis in no hurry, City. Otto all the way back to Mires. Henry. Energetic as always, Briley Henry, interrupted by Morrison. Of course, the football for City continues beyond the Ninja A-League. The ACL Elite semi-final just around the corner for this City team. The 20th of May. A massive game coming up. Henry lashes a shot, blocked. Victory, formation change, a tactical change, some more attacking subs. Just haven't been able to fashion really meaningful chances to get themselves back into this two-legged semi.
Well, they've tried everything against City, and you've got to give credit to City at this point. They've managed anything that's been thrown at them.
Top ball to Lowe. Ma helps on over the top, Flannery. Flannery with a bit of space. Will try her luck on her left boot. And Mires' experience just ticking down the clock. Strong header by Bunge. Lowe shouts suggestions that she'd return from an offside position, but play marches on. Mires again off her line. Just a couple of minutes of regulation time. Undoubtedly a bit of stoppage to add on, and the referee does well to stop play quickly. A head knock, and we have to. McNamara is on the ground. Just as though a grand final repeat is slipping away for Melbourne Victory.
There's the head knock. Punch in the back of the head of McNamara.
Well, a season that just saw Victory scrape into finals, finishing 6th, relying on other results. And then took the finals charge by storm. A strong result against Canberra. A narrow win by City last week. Put Victory on the back foot coming into today's game. And as it stands, just another single goal separating the two. Shelby McMahon in the 34th minute. Of City all but held on and managed this one. Well, they've got to move, and they've got to move quickly. Victory. Janchevsky helps it on to Lowe. To the right area, a little too much weight behind the pass. Mires again just tick away at this clock.
Mira's time and time again, she's been well placed and proactive between the sticks. Fantastic shift.
Six minutes of stoppage time. 6 minutes to find 2 goals for Jeff Hopkins.
Plenty of time.
Well, if their earlier result in the season against Central Coast Mariners is anything to go by, it is very doable. But it has been a defensive masterclass by Melbourne City, and they've got a little bit of attack left in them yet. Davidson slowed down by Ma, who has been everywhere for victory this afternoon.
Victory need to get things going here.
And that will be a yellow card this time for Holly McNamara, just standing in front of the free kick, slowing things down. She knew too what she was doing there.
And there's the initial foul on Ma. Davidson, a handful of her jersey.
So Brisbane Roar, Wellington Phoenix, watch on with close attention. Alex Smith, Bev Priestman. A job to do tomorrow. But from all accounts, it will be Melbourne City locking in a home grand final. Just a couple of minutes remain. Tomorrow, 12:30 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Murphy still providing energy for victory. Moment victory, just needing to pep up, needing to find something. Sylvester to Ray. Flannery just running into trouble, a bit of defensive work by Turner, who has been sound all afternoon again. Victory. A chance to pull one back. Ma, another good delivery. Great defensive header by Otto. Ma looking to recycle quickly. That's a good ball. Janchevsky can hit a ball and does so. Bunge now. Now Morrison, a little ricochet. That time it was Silvestre. Flannery on the charge now. Victory. Janchevsky. We saw what she's capable of moments ago. Off the crossbar this time. Well, heart in mouth moments. And hasn't she worked hard this afternoon, Alana Janchevsky? A rueful shake of the head, a smile from Jeff Hopkins.
The anguish, that's the initial one. Absolute anguish from Victory. What do they need to do to capitalise?
Oh, a knowing smile, perhaps, from Hopkins. As Janchevsky's second attempt ricocheting off the crossbar. 2 minutes remain just inside of this stoppage time. Davidson trying to find the reverse angled pass, only finds Ma. Carlos linking up play. Melbourne Victory champions 3 times, twice under Hopkins' watch, once back in 2014, and a 4th feels like it's just escaping possibility. Still charged City. cut back from McNamara. Now Henry, if she can fashion a chance away, scuffs the shot wide.
Well, we knew what was coming there. McNamara and Henry linking up. It was a great cutback. Henry just didn't get the connection she needed to finish.
Furphy is forward, but great numbers behind the ball for Melbourne City. Outnumbering the Victory Blue. Inside the final minute of stoppage time. Morrison. The last charge forward. Janchevski again mirrors his up. Celebrating is Michael Matriciani.
Matriciani with the fist bump there. I think he knows.
Bunge to Newbon. The 6 minutes is all but up of stoppage time. Now in the hands, the discretion of referee Michaela Ryan. One last charge forward. He's low. Janchevski, no doubt she'll want to get this into a dangerous area. Alana Janchevski. Kostelakis nods away. Last chance saloon for victory. Perhaps the final kick of the game. Newbon is up, the goalkeeper has arrived. Janchevski to take. Plenty of numbers in the box. Bunge, a glancing header. And there it is, job done. Melbourne City punch their ticket to the Ninja A-League Grand Final. The Premiers give themselves a chance to do the double, and they do so in style, securing a home Grand Final for season 18 of the competition. Today makes it 9 undefeated against their cross-city rivals, and one that holds arguably the most weight yet. A beautiful hit from Shelby McMahon back in the first half, the 34th minute. And McMahon, who has had a standout season in midfield, will double the lead on aggregate across these two semi-finals. Jeff Hopkins and Melbourne Victory can hold their head so very high, a valiant effort deep into the final series. It's not to be for season 18 for Melbourne Victory, but Melbourne City are your first team to secure a spot in the Ninja A-League Grand Final. Full time at Control Cyber Pitch. It's your Premiers, Melbourne City 1 over Melbourne Victory 0.
Well, there you have it, folks. Heartbreak for Melbourne Victory, but it's the reigning premiers, Melbourne City, who are heading into their 6th grand final, and they'll be hosting it at home at Amy Park, which has hosted the last 3 Ninja A-League grand finals as well. 8 games unbeaten now against their rivals Melbourne Victory. Ash Sykes, Kath Cannulli. Convincing championship-worthy performance from Melbourne City, you have to say there.
I think you have to say it was a great performance overall. You could see that Melbourne Victory tactically tried to change to really try and go at Melbourne City, but I think overall City were just too disciplined and the better side overall.
There wasn't much between the two sides really, a goal in each game, but I think the quality from Melbourne City shone through overall. They looked very much in control for most of both of the games and, you know, look pretty well set heading into the grand final. I'd say they'd be feeling very comfortable.
Do you know what's also a very reassuring stat for Michael Matriciani? Every time Melbourne City have scored first, they're unbeaten. That's now 11 wins as well when they've got that opening goal. What is the secret behind that, Kath? I mean, they're fast starters, but their defensive solidity is really what distinguishes them from any other side in the competition.
I think you can see how much discipline they have across the pitch, and you could see again if you look at the way that Jeff Hopkins set up Melbourne Victory today, it really didn't bother the Melbourne City team. They stayed disciplined, they stayed in their shape, and they just defended the ball so well. And they just do it so easily. They know every player knows their roles and their responsibilities, and it just becomes so natural for them.
The system each week is almost like copy-paste, you know, Control-C, Control-V, drop in your...
Control Cyber.
Control Cyber, drop drop in your team, drop in whoever you want in those positions. Everyone has such a good understanding of where they need to be, what the game plan is, and it must be easy as a coach when you've got that ahead of you, Kath, each week knowing what's going to come out.
You can see that Michael's processes are quite strong. He really knows exactly what he wants out of his players, and as you said, Ash, players that come in, week out, know exactly what the philosophy that he wants and the way that they output it, and it's just great to see.
It absolutely is. Well, our Ninja Player of the Match is standing by over there at Control Cyber Pitch. It is Aideen Keane who joins us now. Aideen, firstly, a massive congratulations. You are through to what would be your first grand final that you'll play in next week at home. First and foremost, how is that ankle feeling?
Oh, you know, you can't keep me down for long, so I'll be back. It's a bit sore though, can't lie.
Hey, Aideen, congratulations. Really great game. How did you feel walking out there seeing your main opponent was Taylor Ray?
Honestly, I had a little bit of a smile. You know, I love sharing the pitch with her, whether we're teammates or we're coming up against each other. I have a massive amount of respect for her. So, yeah, it's nice to be in a close proximity, and it's a good battle between us, I think.
Hey, Aideen, it's great to see you still smiling after that match. What does it mean to you and the squad for reaching this grand final?
This is massive for us. You know, this is what we've been working for. We had our list at the start of the season, and we're getting closer to ticking off that second box. So, yeah, the girls are pumped, and we can't wait. We really can't wait.
Aideen, you were firing down that left flank, causing all sorts of chaos for Melbourne Victory. What has sort of enabled you to play with so much freedom out there?
Honestly, I was excited to be on the pitch, you know. I was having fun. I love playing. I love taking people on. I love coming in, coming out. Like, it's amazing to just be on the pitch. So, yeah, I felt free. I felt like I was enjoying myself. And, yeah, I let myself, like, be who I am on the pitch.
Love to hear that. I love 1v1s. It's the best part of the game, and you really showcase your skills in that regard. So I think you've scored against Wellington and Brisbane so far this season. Aideen, do you have any preference as to who you come up against next week?
Honestly, it doesn't make any difference to me. You know, I'm hoping to find the back of the net again, as always. And yeah, I think we're focusing on us, you know.
Aideen, leading into such a big match for yourself, how do you manage the pressure leading into this crucial game?
I think it's just taking every moment, you know, moment by moment. It's doing all the little things. It's the recovery, the preparation, the analysis, just making sure that by Saturday or Sunday we have every box ticked. And yeah, I know that I'm ready, and so when I step on the pitch I've done everything I can, and you know, the rest is up to each moment on the day.
Aideen, a massive congratulations on a complete performance from Melbourne City. You are our Ninja Player of the Match. Best of luck in next week's grand final, and how about it, a treble is on for Melbourne City as well.
Thank you so much.
Awesome to hear from Aideen there. What a player she is. Now having a look at our Harvey Norman highlights, and it was the youngster in Shelby McMahon, Kath, that got things going with a stunning half volley.
This has definitely got to go down as one of the highlights for the youngster. Again, I talk about the technique and the ability to be able to strike that ball the way that she did with that power is unbelievable. What a strike it was, and she'll be super proud of that moment.
She's so well balanced.